All right, Shalom, Makim.
Shalom.
We'd like to first start off by giving all honor and glory praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that teach this truth and real well. Wa Shalom to sincere Akim that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, that's pushing this truth in sincerity and in charity. My name is Yerumya, and I'm accompanied with the brother
Shaki.
All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, we're going to do a response video from the brother GMS. Get this work too. All right, and the video is entitled TikTok influencer shares her thoughts on the Israelites. All right, and in this video, she made some points, and we're gonna land back off of those points by bringing out scripture. That me and the brother was meditating on. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and roll the video.
Hold on, man. We gonna get this work.
God, the audio is
Don't mean to say this to be disrespectful, and maybe some people are gonna think this sounds dumb, but I feel like there's a deeper reason why, people of color and specifically the Black community have been relentlessly persecuted. Just the things that happened during slavery alone, were insane. But I don't know, the more I learn about Black history and the ways that, people who literally worked in the government, like the CIA, all these different people in power were trying to ruin the Black community. And it makes me think, dude, I feel like, is there something more going on here than just...
Yep.
All right, so you hear, if I may.
Yeah.
She talks about, the CIA. She talks about how basically, why is the so-called Negro community persecuted? To the point where, hey, we're destroyed as a people. And when she says, the Black community, just incorporate the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Israel, But this is a thing that the Lord said will happen. This is how, this nation of people feel about the 12 tribes of people, or 12 tribes of Israel, So real quick,
I got it.
we're gonna get the book. Let's start Ezekiel 35.
God.
I got it.
Ezekiel. We can start we can go straight to the point. We could hit verse 5. This is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Right. It said, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. All right. Forever, never ending, hatred. For who? Keep on going.
It says, it says, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of...
It said the children, right, you go. It's the children of Israel. All right. Who's the children of Israel? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It said that they shed our blood. Is that what it said?
Yep.
It shed our blood by the sword. All right, and they did that literally through, the sword, by guns. All right, but they did that by, drugs. All right.
Yeah, because Esau has created, has found out, many avenues, to keep Jake destroyed, to keep Jake killed, and he doesn't, just like how the brother mentioned it, through drugs. That's he floods the drugs. He floods the communities with drugs, right? He pumps out all this wicked ass music, this wicked ass rap music, all right, upon our people, man. This demonic ass music, man. You know, in every, you know, Jake neighborhood or you know, what they got, liquor stores and churches on every corner, man. You know, he has, you know, sought out many different avenues and ways to keep our people at a low oppressed state to eventually what? To eventually shed the blood of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true biblical Israelites, man.
Yep, and they want us, you know, they want us at this lowest state. Why? So we can be away from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, and if we're away from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, basically they could keep on ruling, and prophecy will never come to pass. You know, we kind of stink over here.
We can, if you want, we can walk, or we can go right there.
Yeah, let's go right there.
Yeah, let's go right there. Are you good? Are you good? Just go.
But yeah, you know, here, what's the scripture? Damn. What was my point?
Want me to read the scripture again?
Yeah, just go to the perpetual. Where it says perpetual.
It's Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Yep, it said, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. All right, they got a perpetual hatred to the point where, hey, they want us to completely be destroyed as a nation. They want us to, you know, kill each other, hate each other. All right, all that. You know. Damn, I'm trying to think about the scripture.
How does it go? You know how to quote it? I was thinking real quick in Micah. I was thinking about Micah the 2nd chapter. How, as a matter of fact, if you don't mind, it's Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read. This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. You know, and this is speaking about Esau, Edom. You know, the upper, you know, echelon of the nation of Esau, Edom. You know, which includes what, these elites, like these high-level elite banking families that rule the world in wickedness. Okay, in a wicked satanic vibration. All right, and these damn devils, they have nothing but time. You know, they got think tanks on how they can further continue the agenda. All right, to further destroy you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, and they already did that, you know, mentally. You know, so Esau, he's just passing out, you know, different types of avenues and ways on how he can keep Jake fucked up, keep Jake on drugs, keep Jake dependent on Esau. You know, keep Jake doing wicked shit so that they can destroy each other, you know. And this is Esau, Edom. This is what Esau, Edom is doing to our people. That's why the scripture says, woe unto them. What? Death and destruction. It says that devise iniquity. What is iniquity? Well, that's sin upon sin. That devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. They literally plan on how they're going to scheme and plot new ways to how to keep you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans killing each other out here through as fuck, out here dead. That's Esau. Esau's whole MO is to what? To try and destroy you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man.
Ooh,
physically, spiritually, you know. Salaki, what you say?
Nah, can you get Isaiah 14? It talks about how he wants to rule over the nation of Israel. 13.
This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 13. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Yep, in their mind. The Hebrew word for heart is lav, you know, meaning mind, all right? So in their mind, this is what their mind is thinking.
Yep. It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh.
Yep, it said, I will exalt my throne. So so basically they're trying to be gods over us. You know? They're trying to be above us. You know? When the Lord said that we will be, you know, the rulers of the earth, you know? But they're trying to do opposite, you know? So their whole mindset is totally against Yahweh Shem Al-Shai's, you know, plan. You know?
Gone. Yep. It says, I will sit also upon the mount of the con. Oh, okay, that was con. Yep.
You had more on that mic too?
Yeah, I could go back. Yeah, I had a little bit more. So Micah chapter 2 and verse 1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And basically, man, Esau, he has all the time in the world, man. All right, to try to come up with new ways and schemes, you know, agendas to destroy you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Which is why, you know, in the video, what she said, that the so-called, well, we say so-called, but you know, he said what the black community is being persecuted, you know? And that's all done by design. That's all done by design here in this wicked system. By the devising of Esau Edom's wicked tactics to destroy you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true biblical Israelites, man. All right? And it stems all the way back from when, you know, from when we were in slavery, man. All right, hardcore slavery, man. You know, and you see Esau Edom's agenda is you know, he still wants to come out. He knows the throughness and lowest state that Jake is in. But this man has such a perpetual hatred and everlasting hatred. He's willing to he'll further that. He'll keep furthering that, and he won't stop. You know?
Yeah, because he understands that within the world to come, that he's not going to be part of it. That he's going to serve that serve that 1,000 years of slavery. Yeah. He's going to serve that, you know, that captivity, and then after that, he's going to be exterminated. You know? So of course they trying to keep us at a lower state. But, you know, they understand that, you know, or they did, you know, but they tried to keep us down, you know, that, you know, we'll stand upon our feet, you know, and be inspired by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But you have some more?
Yeah, I can keep going. Yeah. It's and they, verse 2, it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Right? Because you got these Edomite, all right, these small hatters out there in the land of Israel portraying to be the people. Here it is, here it is, Esau Edom stole your heritage. He putting on your customs. If you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, you're an Israelite. And your heritage is the scriptures. So here it is, during the times of slavery, he went and beat, literally beat our you know, us knowing who we were out of us, and gave us what? Plantation Christianity, right? But this damn devil has the nerve to call himself the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He don't even fit the curses. He don't even fit the curses. All right. He fooled the world in believing that they're the chosen people of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But if that's the case, why are these niggas always in war? Right? You damn small hats, man. They control all the banks, the media, the you know. This is the wicked. This is the wicked. It says, and covet fields and take them by violence, because that's what Esau do. St. John chapter 10 and verse 10, the thief cometh not but to kill, steal, and destroy. That's the whole word. Hey, Esau's a covetous man. You know, he could never be satisfied. Just like I was saying Habakkuk 2. You know, if he has something, if he sees something that he want, he'll just fucking rob it from you. He'll kill you for it. He'll shed your blood for it. You got a plot of land. He'll kill you for that land in cold blood. Right? Because this is Esau, Edom. It says, and take them by violence in houses, and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house. And you see the oppression. You see the stuff that Jake got to go through here in this society, man. All right, but here it is. People got the nerve to talk shit about the so-called black man. He be going through. The so-called black man is the most persecuted in Babylon the Great, aka America. And this country has been set up to do that by design, to oppress the so-called Israelite man, to make the Israelite man weak. You know, not believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai. Right? No, that's it on that.
We'll go back to the video.
God. I can barely hear it.
Racism, because it's like, come on, you're telling me you're doing all of this stuff just because you don't like someone's skin color? I feel like, what if, I have this theory that, like, what if black people have some type of superpower? Like, what if they have, I don't know, if they're just born with something very valuable that we don't really know about, but maybe...
Said, oh, yeah, you got it. Okay. No, I was reading the caption. She said that what? Oh, let me run it back. Salakia.
Have some type of
What?
superpower. Like, what if they have, I don't know, skin color? Other than just racism? Because it's like, come on. You're telling me you're doing all of this stuff just because you don't like someone's skin color?
And, you know, these people in the world, they believe that Esau has that hatred for Jacob because their skin color. No, it goes deeper than that. It's a spiritual thing. Esau, Edom has that perpetual, everlasting hatred for Jacob. Okay, because he sold his birthright, all right, for a morsel of meat. All right, and then he tried to, you know, what did it say? Well, he sought it back with tears.
Yeah.
You know, but ultimately through the Spirit, it was set up through the Spirit for Jacob to receive the birthright, and that's why these devils hate us, man. That's why these damn Edomites hate us, because they know that we have the birthright to what? To rule the earth forever in righteousness, man. All right, and that's why these damn devils want to have it in their mind. You know, they believe in their mind, if they can destroy every last one you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know, they believe that they're going to receive the blessing by default. Just like how if you have two basketball teams at a championship game, if one of those basketball teams don't show up to the game, the team that showed up, they automatically get the dub. They automatically get the win. So that's what Esau Edom is thinking through his mind, through his devising of ways and schemes how he can do, because that's his whole goal. His whole goal is to try to destroy all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Mm-hmm. Because he really wants that birthright. But he's not gonna be able to obtain. He's not gonna, you know. So like, go ahead.
Genesis 27:41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Mm-hmm. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Yep. Going into Yep. It was all and that's what you see, and that's what you see being made manifest, man. You know, through all these incarnations, Esau always coming up against it. Esau. Well, I mean, just look at all the atrocities that Esau did to us during slavery. Yeah. You know,
still going?
Let's pause. You want to keep going?
No, I'm talking about the screen record.
Yeah, it's going. Yeah. You know, Esau. Well, he tried to seek the birthright back with tears, but that's not how it works, man. Which ultimately Esau, he never valued the birthright. Nah. He never valued it. He sold it for a morsel of meat. But ultimately, through the Spirit, it was never set up for Esau, Edom, to receive the birthright. Because Yahweh Bashim Shai hates Esau.
And just back you up, because you said that, going into the perpetual everlasting hatred for us, back you up with an example.
Also,
Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. All right. And yeah, when, the Babylonians were besieging, Israel, for the southern kingdom, guess who was basically helping them out? Esau. All right. It says, verse 8, daughter. So yeah, this, their perpetual hatred is, and they always had it. All right. The so-called white people, they always had a hatred for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Mm-hmm. And in the times that we're living in, hey, Jakes that don't believe what we're saying, you about to see that this man, he's about to, express his horns. He's about to show you that he's the devil. Right now, yeah, he's playing it all cool and shit. All right, but hey, these niggas these are some devils. All right, that's why they got an alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
That's why they for the Latino or for the northern tribes, they threw you off a plane. All right, their bodies is being showed up, or they're not their bodies, but their chained up, ankles is being showed up to, appear on shore. So hey, this man has always had the hatred for us. All right, and they still do to this day.
They still, yeah. Yep. Which is why you see Esau coming up, opening up that's a good point. Alligator Alcatraz. He's opening up all the Guantanamo, all these detention centers. He's got all these detention centers and camps to round up you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, because he's trying to do a mass genocide on y'all, man. Yep. Want to keep going on the video? Or use some more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You gonna play it?
Yeah.
I feel like, what if, I have this theory that, what if black people have some type of superpower? What if they have, I don't know, if they're just born with something very valuable that we don't...
See, what? She said what? That what they are born with something very valuable. Right? Because we are, and Jake is the most valuable on the planet. Dude, you're talking about Yashar Allah. He Prince Power. We're literally the kings and princes of the earth.
Precept.
We're rich in spirit. I mean, just look at how Jake is even in captivity, man. The scripture said, what, ye are the salt of the earth. You say you got precept?
No, you got it.
Jake brings flavor to everything. Jake keeps everything going. Jake keeps everything running. Yep. We exceed the heathen in everything, man. Because we're the top nation, man, here up on the face of the earth, man.
And if you pay attention to the heathen, just even on how they walk, you could just see how you just you better than them.
Yeah.
They walk all crazy, all stiff, But when we walk, hey, we got that swag.
Got that swag, got some soul.
We look good when we walk, you know. But here I got something real quick. Deuteronomy 4 and verse 6 or 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me. that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it.
Gone.
No.
Oh.
I was, yeah.
Select.
Now you go. So Deuteronomy 4:5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me. That Lord Yahweh. All right. That ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. All right. So the Lord gave the law, statutes, and commandments, to the nation of Israel. All right.
Yep.
And wherever we go, we're ought to do them. Verse 6. That's why we're in this, lowest state at the same time, though. Because we didn't do this. Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So yeah, Esau, they understand who we are, and they want us to stray away from the laws, statutes, and commandments, But yeah, us doing these laws, statutes, and commandments prove that we're better, than the heathens. All right. The Lord ain't give, all the other heathens, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, the Japanese man, which is the Ammonites, all right? He ain't give them, the law, statutes, and commandments. Why? Because he don't claim them, but he claims us, all right? Verse 7, for what nation is there so great who hath Yahweh Shema Shai so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? So see, say, hey, they want us to be away from that. That's why they persecute us.
Yeah.
All right, because as long as we're away from Yahweh Shema Shai,
they can keep
rule
oppressing
over us. Yeah,
they can keep oppressing us. Basically, that's why Esau doesn't want us to know, who we are. Like just for example, iconoclasm. He paints all the prophets, he paints the disciples, he paints Yahweh Shai to be a so-called white man.
Yep.
Okay? And that's because he don't want our people to know, he doesn't want our people to identify in the scriptures. The scriptures belongs to us. The scriptures belongs to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The true biblical Israelites, man. Did you have something? Come on.
Judith 5 and verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. So see, this was Achor, explaining, to the kings that, hey, if the nation of Israel, go against their God, which is Yahweh Shema Shai, that basically, hey, we can overcome them. And it says, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. So see, they always, consulted, amongst each other, like, hey, we could always get them, if they're against, Yahweh Shema Shai. That's why you got, you'll see Arab people, have a gas station in the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American community, selling nothing but, it got pork in it,
Yeah.
That's why they ain't got no problem.
Soda.
Yeah. To further oppress us, to further keep us away from
That shit puts demons on you.
Yeah.
That shit puts demons on you. Like, if they flood, like a lot of that shit that they be selling them gas stations is filled with chemicals and shit.
Yeah.
Like they got our people going nuts out here, man. That's all the devising of Esau Edom. You got some more?
Come on. Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So see, they understood that, hey, if we're doing what we're doing, or doing what we're supposed to be doing, serving Yahweh Shema Shai, guess what? They can't overcome us. That the Lord will be with us. But that's why the elect is here. And matter of fact, that's why Yahweh Shai did what he did. So he atoned for all the nation of Israel's sins. All right. And the elect, you know, we're gonna be the first go arounds of receiving, you know, these heathens as a inheritance. You know, that's what they don't want that to happen. They understand that once, you know, once Esau's world is down and ours is up, that they're gonna have to, you know, serve us, and they're gonna have to be punished, you know, for everything that they have done, you know. So they trying to, let's keep the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans down, you know. But Ezekiel 37, you know, we might get that. But you know, we keep on. If you got something, you know, we go.
Oh, we can keep going.
Kind of. Yeah.
We don't really know about, but maybe, you know, like I said, these people, these rich people, and these people in power, maybe they figured it out a long time ago, and maybe that's why they were like, oh, we have to like get rid of them, blah blah blah. I don't know. I feel like maybe they have something special that we are not taught about, that is linked to them being people of color, you know. And I've seen some Black creators come on here and try to explain how special it is to have melanin in your skin and how it has all these different properties, but I don't know. I just feel like
she mentioned melanin. Esau is the only nation here on the face of the earth that got no melanin. Right? So he persecutes Jake. You know, he tries to put Jake to death. Try to harvest their organs. All right, extract their melanin, and they be selling that shit on the dark web and shit. You know?
Like this, I have a theory that this goes so much deeper than maybe a lot of us realize, because I'm sorry, but I don't think you're gonna go out of your way for all these hundreds and hundreds of years to try to ruin one group of people over something as silly as, oh, their skin is a different color. Like, I feel like there's something that we don't know. I'm telling you, there's something.
Get Revelations 2 and 20.
Come on. It's the book of Revelation.
Actually, Salakia.
Oh, you good?
I'm thinking about Isaiah 47 now.
Oh, okay. Oh.
It's verse 6.
It's Isaiah.
If you want to add something, you know, go ahead.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 6. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand.
Yep. The nation of Israel has made Yahweh Shem Al-Shah mad. How? We, you know, by going off, you know, straying away from Yahweh Shem Al-Shah's commandments, you know.
God.
So the Lord, you know, allow, you know, these heathens to rule over us, you know. Keep on going.
It says, and given them into thine hand, thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Yep. Because he don't show our people no mercy, man. He's completely merciless with our people, man. Especially in these hospitals, man. They take advantage of Jake. Run all types of experiments on our people, pumping them with drugs. You know, these new drugs that Esau be making in these labs and shit. You know? To see our people fucking suffer in a hospital, man. You know?
But it say, thou hast very heavily laid thy yoke. Or it's like, upon the ancient has thou very heavily laid thy yoke. So, hey, everything, hey, you trying to oppress, or they are oppressing the nation of Israel, you know, even the old men, you know, to the point where, hey, the retirement age is 67, You know, soon about to be 70. You know, if we was to keep on going.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, Esau, he knows that Jacob is pretty much the working class of this society. You know, like the slave class. You know, so Esau, he'll just straight up work you to death. You know? He doesn't care about if you're gonna receive your retirement funds or none of that. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit at the end of the day. You know, because he got another scheme right after that one. All right, to, you know, after you retire. You know, one thing I've been noticing, a lot of these older jakes that, you know, or you know, that retire, you know, they come back and they find a job still. They're still working. But wait, I thought you was supposed to be retired. See, Esau still got our people work. Like the elderly of our people still working, man. It says, verse 7, it says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Yeah, you ain't remember the latter end of you know, persecuting. You ain't laid it in your heart that, hey, I'm gonna have to, you know, be repaid off of what I'm doing to the nation of Israel. You know, on how I'm destroying them by drugs, by destroying them by the music. All right. See, they're so puffed up with pride to the point where, hey, I'm good. The Lord, matter of fact, you know, it talks about Psalms 52 that how they believe, or they think that, you know, the Lord is with them. You know, so that, hey, Esau is all the way, you know, fucked up. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, we keep on going.
It says, so like it says, verse 8, it says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me.
Right, they say I am and none else beside me. They think that they're themselves to be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You know, that's why they govern, you know, the earth the way they do. That's why they, you know, persecuted us the way they do. You know, they believe that they're you know, God Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua themselves. You know, that's how they want to be. But what did it keep on going?
Yep. It says that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me.
Mm-hmm.
I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Mm-hmm. Keep on going.
It's like, if I may, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because, hey, that's the pride. That right there goes to show you the pride of Esau Edom, because he believes that his kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom, man. All right, that they're going to be able to rule for hundreds and thousands of more years, right? Esau Edom believes in their mind that they're not going to, it say, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. You know what I'm saying? So Esau believes in his mind, look, his you know, the things in his kingdom, all right, will never be affected, because he believes that he's going to be that top nation. You know, so basically Esau Edom is haughty. He's proud. He has it in his mind. He has it in his mind that no nation is mighty enough to take me down or to wage war with me. You know, which is what going into this devil's pride. Verse 9, it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. You know, right? Well, it said, what? But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widow. Esau's going to lose his kingdom. Esau's going to lose his riches. all right, all these businesses, okay, assets, riches, all that. He gonna lose all that, right? It says, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the great multitude of thy sorceries. Because you got to remember, Esau Edom, this guy is a high level warlock. You know, he always performing you know, spiritual wickedness, you know, blood sacrifices, chanting to spiritual demon Satan, doing all these wicked demonic chants, right? Seeing his witchcraft, seeing Esau Edom's witchcraft in the media. You know, seeing Esau Edom's witchcraft in the music, the movies. You know, all playing an effect on, you know, the minds of these people, right? It says, and not only through that, but also, you know, sorcery through the pharmaceutical industry. Keep Jake hooked up on drugs, so they got to keep coming back. All right, here is this drug. These drugs that Jake be prescribed to, right? They come with all types of side effects. They're not natural. Esau Edom, he doesn't believe in natural herbs. He wants to give you drugs made in the lab, and it's going to come with all types of side effects. That's going to jack you up even more, so that you got to keep going back to the pharmacy and get those same drugs, right? It says, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. You know, right? Well, it said great abundance of thine enchantments. All right, this dude is abundantly just doing all types of you know, witchcraft, you know,
TV,
and he's got the time to do it.
Yep.
Like
TV, music, social media, that's all witchcraft, you know, because it always, you know, when you're watching, you know, TV or you know, social media or whatever, you see the recycle of things. It's all repeated, you know, so it got you in the so once it's just constantly repeated to you, you start acting out on them things, you know, and that's how you start living, you know. So it's all a spell.
Yeah.
You know?
Yup. Gone.
Yeah. I think that was it on that, wasn't it?
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it.
We could end it off. Yeah.
Something special about them that they don't want us to know. Okay, this is just something that I've been thinking about recently, and I'm like, maybe if there are some black creators that maybe they already made a video and I just didn't see it, I don't know, but like, I don't know, maybe it sounds dumb. Or maybe this is like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but, you know, it's just something I was thinking about.
Message!
Oh, Slack.
There you go.
Oh.
Take the last one.
Hold on!
Was it like right here?
A little bit.
Back?
Right there. Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
Oh.